Shalom, shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off this video by giving all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Achakodash. Double honors to my teachers, the elder apostles, the elder bishops of Great Millstone, teaching and ruling well. Peace, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect of the house of Israel. Alright, let's go straight into it. Lord willing, this will be edifying. It says here in James 1 and 5. So like at James 1 and 2. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptation, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Okay? You have to take that in. Alright? Count it all joy when you're catching hell. Alright? You know? And again, it's not for you to do backflips and be all happy-go-lucky when you're catching hell. Put it into perspective. Job, he was sitting on the floor. He was sitting on the floor for like days, just mourning when he lost his riches, he lost his children. Okay, but in that instance, you know the end of Job, how the Lord blessed him. His end was better than his beginning. Okay, because again, throughout this trial, the test of his faith, during those temptations, the Lord was trying his faith. The Lord was testing him to see if he would keep his integrity, and which he did. Okay, so again, all these temptations, we are to count it joy in the sense that the Lord is testing you, and is through that temptation, through that trial, seeking to bring you to the next level of faith, to the next level of trust in Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. It says here, let's jump into Hebrews 12. And it's funny how Hebrews 12 really starts with the perspective. If you go into the second verse, let's bring it out. It says here in Hebrews 12 and 2, looking unto Yahweh Shai, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is sat down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High. So again, for him to obtain that glory, he had to go through the shame, he had to go through the pain, he had to go through those suffering, the same way as we have to do the same. The servant is not greater than his master. Okay, as Yahweh Shai was persecuted and mistreated and brought low. Okay, the same way that we have to, the same path that we have to go through to inherit the kingdom of heaven. Through much tribulation shall you inherit the kingdom of heaven. All right, so don't think it's strange when these things happen to you, but rather rejoice knowing that the Lord is with you. And in those moments, the Lord will really show his might and his strength, because you have to remember, the Lord is the one that put you in that situation. He's the one that can take you out of that situation. We are in his hands. Okay, it's really in those situations when the Lord brings you low that he really wants you to cleave unto him. Okay, yeah, it's easy to cleave unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai when everything's going well, but when you're catching hell, are you going to seek to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, or are you going to seek for your own means? Are you going to try to do things your own way? See, it says here, for consider him that endured such contradictions of sinner against himself, lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds. Alright, so again, we always have to look to Yahweh Shai. You know, as they say in the world, what would Yahweh Shai do? They say Jesus, but yeah, us, we know that, we know the real name of the Lord. So what would Yahweh Shai do in that situation? Okay, you see, it says here, pertaining to Yahweh Shai. I don't remember the correct wording, but let's see if I can find it. I know it's in the... Let me see, I think it's the one that's reviled. Here we go. It says here in 1 Peter 2, And I'll start at 21. For even hereunto were ye called, because Hamashiach also suffered for us, leaving us an example that we should follow his steps. Alright? Just as Yahushua suffered, we are to suffer as well. It shouldn't be a surprise. Okay? This is the path that we chose. Okay? The Lord didn't tell you that it was going to be an easy walk. As it says, when you come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. Alright? Because again, he that departed from evil becometh a prey. Okay? So you become a prey to the world, you become a prey to the demons, and you become a prey to Satan. You become a prey, man. Because the whole world wants to bring you back to that carnal vibration. And the fight is really to retain your integrity. The fight is really to abstain for all appearances of evil. Okay? Because it's easy. It's easy to just forsake the Lord and follow after your fleshly desires, carnal and carnal lusts, to serve your belly. It's easy, but abstaining from the lust of the flesh, okay, mortifying your members, that is difficult, man. You have to be a different breed to be able to control yourself, not let your carnal instincts and carnal desires dictate your behavior and your decisions, but rather you let the spirit, your conscience, your mind, your righteousness move you. Okay, the will of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshai to guide you according to what is spiritual. You see? And again it says here, pertaining to Yahushai, who did not sin. Again, because he was walking in the Spirit, he was living in the Spirit. Neither was guile found in his mouth. Why? Because he was speaking the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshai, pushing forth his will. Okay? It says here, who, when he was reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him who judges righteously. Okay? Just as Job said, even if the Lord smite me, I will still retain my trust in him, roughly paraphrasing. Okay? Even if the Lord brings you low, you know that the Lord, within the Lord is life. Okay? You know that the Lord is the only way. Okay? And you're not looking anywhere else. We have that understanding. We're not gonna forsake the Lord. We're not gonna we're gonna retain our integrity in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Okay? You see? And we understand that this is not our world, this is not our rest, this is really the place of judgment, this is really a place where we are here to suffer punishment for our disobedience, right? So when these things happen unto you, don't take it as don't marvel that you lose your job, don't marvel that you end up being locked up for the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Don't marvel at these things, man. Again, we are enemies to this world, man. Just as the world hated Yahweh Shai, they hate their servants as well, his servants as well. Okay, so again, and that being said, he trusted in Yahweh. He said he committed himself to him that judges righteously. All right. So again, don't think that the things that we're suffering, it's not being marked. Okay, don't think that the Lord is not seeing the things that we have to endure. There's a judgment that is about to appear, that's about to happen on this earth, man. Okay, the economic collapse, okay, famine, pestilence, evils, earthquakes, cannibalism, all these things, man. These things are gonna come back on the earth in a high fashion, man. And all these people that offended you, that lied on you, okay, that despised you, okay, who oppressed us, the children of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, these things are reserved unto them, man. Just as it says, the wicked is reserved for the day of punishment, the day of evil, the day of wrath. Okay? So these people, the Lord is reserving them, man. So whatever happens, as it says, vengeance is mine, said the Lord. So we don't, hey, do me wrong. Hey, you're not hurting me, you're hurting yourself. Okay? And again, this present suffering is not to be compared with the glory that we shall receive. Okay? So we're just rolling with the punches, as they say. Okay? We take a hit, but we keep on fighting. Okay? The just man falleth 7 times. That goes into him going off. Okay? But even then, he follows after the spirit, because we're in the sick flesh, corrupt bodies. Okay? That are geared to push us into carnality, and that's why, again, that fight of the spirit fighting against the carnality, when you're actually walking in the fear of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, abstaining from these things, man, that makes you a different kind of man, a different kind of woman in this world, man, because these people are led by Satan. These people are led by their wicked desires, man. They have no fear of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, okay? As they say, they're walking dead. As in the say, they that depart from the congregation of they that depart from knowledge and understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. And that's exactly what these people are, man. Dead people walking, man. Okay. So again, it is important to know that we are in the hands of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Okay. So going back to Hebrews 12. Bringing it back to Yahushai, we're looking to Yahushai. Okay, he's our idol. He's the one that we seek to emulate. Okay, to imitate. Okay, to walk like him, to follow him. Okay, as it says, verse 4, ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin. So again, this is not even the peak of the evils. You see, there's gonna be a time where we're gonna have to be pilgrims on the earth. We're gonna have to be on the move. All these things, that your job, your house, your car, all these carnal things won't matter at that time. Okay? So yes, you can build up and establish yourself in this world, but you have to do it as one that is gonna lose all these things tomorrow. Okay? When all these things happen, when all these evil comes to pass, but when the famine of the word happened, when the great persecution, when Isa Edom comes down with great wrath, when the implementation of the mark of the beast occurs, okay, World War III. Okay, when Isa Edom comes and snatch people and puts them in concentration camps. Okay, when Isa Edom comes and puts people in concentration camps, all right, we're gonna have to look at these things like dung. And that's what Peter said. That's what Paul said. I count everything that I gain. I counted them dung. Okay, because these things, these carnal things, these materialistic things, they're not gonna save our lives. Okay. It's good to have a nice car. It's good to have your woman. Okay, it's good to have nice shoes and have your house and your business. But all these things will not bring salvation unto you. Okay, and if worse comes to worse, and you have to let these things go, man, it shouldn't even be a second thought. It shouldn't be, oh, should I? It shouldn't be a debate. All right. Oh, should I lose my? What happens if I lose this? What happens if I? Fuck that! Fuck those things, man. As it says, he that forsaketh land. That's what Yahushua said. Yeah, that's what Yahushua said. He that forsooketh land. Oh, he that forsooketh land. He that forsooketh family. He that forsooketh whatever you forsake, man. In this world, you shall inherit 100-fold. 100-fold, man. You put that into perspective, into consideration, man. So in a sense, you're not losing, you're really gaining. All right, and all these things, they come in the way, man. Okay, and again, we're seeking for the kingdom. All right, so we're in the business of losing, following after Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, just as Yahushai lowered himself and made himself as unto a man. Okay, he made himself poor so that we can be rich. Okay, so how much more is it for us to give up our livelihoods and things of that nature so that we can inherit the kingdom of heaven? Okay, do the right thing in the sight of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. And no greater love than this. May a man lose his life for the name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Okay, for his brothers. Okay, and that's the love that we're supposed to show for one towards another. Okay, so how much more in the time where all these evils happen, and you're supposed to, and you have the choice to let everything go, or to side with this wicked kingdom, to preserve your life and your lifestyle for a few days. You know what I'm saying? All these things will come to pass, man. All right. And as the fashion of this world also will pass away, man. Isa Edom is seeking to establish a new kingdom, a new rulership, a new system. Okay, he's trying to switch up the ways of life, get everyone tripped up, man. Okay, so this is gonna be the time where we're resisting against sin, and you can't be attached to this world, man. Okay, like they say in the heat, as soon as you sense the heat in the corner, you have to be able to let everything go. and move on, because that decision is gonna be the difference between life or death. All right, just like in the movie Heat with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, man. He says, yo, as soon as I sense the heat, man, I don't care if I have a girlfriend, I don't care if I have a business, I don't care what I have in this world, man. I'm jumping ship, man. You see, and that's the mindset that we are to have. All right, you see. And that's the affliction. That's the affliction. The edification that comes through the fire. Because again, as it says, to count it all joy. It's not joyous to lose your things that you worked hard for, man. But we understand the recompense. Okay. You see, as it says, who for the joy that was set. Speaking of Yahushua, he said, who for the joy that was set before him endured. Okay. He saw far, man. He understood what was waiting for him. So he wasn't too attached to the things of the world, understanding that the Lord Yahweh had better waiting for him. You see? And that's the mindset that we are to arm ourselves with. There's greater things. Okay? Joy forevermore in the right hand of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. As long as we endure, we shall receive it. Alright? Come on. Yeah, hey, let me close out with this, man. You see? Oh, hey, Salakia. That was the whole point that I went to Hebrews 12. It says here, Hebrews 12 and verse 6, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son that he receiveth. So again, you come to serve the Lord, you're gonna catch hell, man. It's a part of the walk. It's a part of the walk. Look at Yahushua, look at the disciples, look at the men of the Lord that suffer for the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. As it says, behold, we count them happy who endure. Okay? If ye endure the chastening of the Most High, if you endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? So, if you don't receive, it says here, but if you be without chastening, wherefore all are partakers, then ye are not bastards. It's like then ye are bastards and not sons. Okay, so if you come to serve the Lord and you're not catching hell, everything is going your way all the time. Okay, you're striving in this world. Okay, you're a millionaire. Everything is going well with you. You have to ask yourself questions, man. Okay, because that's not the way that the Lord fashioned things to be. Even Joseph, before he ended up as our forefather Joseph. Okay, the father of Ephraim and Manasseh. Okay, before he ended up being the right-hand man of Pharaoh, he had to endure affliction. He was lied on. He was sold into slavery. Okay, he was thrown into jail. But all these times he was being righteous. Okay, he was being righteous, but in all those afflictions, he retained his integrity. Okay, he was brought down low, and then the Lord raised him up in his due time. Okay, so you see. So it's not because you serve the Lord that it's going to be a walk in the park. And again, the Lord is a power of balance. He'll test you. He'll try you. Okay, but then he will return unto you, and he will show his mercy unto you, man. The same way that he put you in the hole, he'll take you out in the hole, and with the lesson, with the mindset, all the things that you've learned when you were down, when you're going to be up, you're going to be able to properly manage all those riches, properly manage all this wisdom, properly maneuver through these situations, the situations that the Lord has prepared for you. But it's all a build-up. It's all a part of the edification. How are you gonna know to deal with riches if you've never been poor? How are you gonna know to deal with a case? In this case, how are you gonna know to deal with how are you gonna know to deal with this situation if you've never been through shit? Okay, you see. So again, the Lord chastened us as I say in the world, as a initiation. Okay, it's a part of the initiation to go to the fire, to catch hell. Okay, it's a part of the initiation. Okay, the part of being baptized. Okay, as it says, we're being baptized in the fire. Okay, that's a part of the baptism, man. Okay, to be with Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, you have to go through that furnace of adversity. All right. So again, it says here, verse 10, furthermore we've had fathers of our flesh, which corrected us, and we gave them reverence, shall we not much more be in subjection unto the Father of Spirit and live? Okay? Because when you submit yourself to the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that only brings forth life. Okay? You see? As Moses says, I place before you life and death. Choose which one you want. Okay? You see? And if you follow life, the blessings shall overtake you. You see? That's why you're not catching L following after Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You're not catching L's. You might catch hell, but at the end, it's it's a part of the trial of your faith. It's to build you up as the followers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay, it's for your benefit. Okay, as it says, for they verily for a few days chasten us for our own pleasure, so for their own pleasure. So they chasten us for their own pleasure. Okay. But he for our profit. So when the Lord puts you down, brings you low, it's for your benefit. There's a lesson that you are to learn from the hell that you're catching. And if you don't learn, he'll put you again through the same hell until you end up learning. And if you don't, eventually he'll cast you away, man. If you don't want to learn, if you want to be stubborn, if you refuse to hearken to the message, he'll just throw you out, man, eventually. Okay? You see? But eventually you have to learn, man. The men of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the true, they elect. Eventually they'll learn from the fire. They'll learn from the evils that they catch. Okay. Matter of fact, even being spiritual, they'll look for the lessons in those situations, in that affliction that they're catching. They're being spiritual. They judge all things. Okay. You see, from the small matters to big matters. Okay. They judge all things, man. That's why it's important to have a spiritual eye. Okay, look through things with your spiritual mindset. Right. So again, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless after it yielded the peaceable fruits of righteousness unto them that are exercised thereby. Okay, so again, the chastening may not be joyous. You're not gonna jump for joy for losing your car, losing your job, losing your wife, losing your kids, losing. You're not gonna be content, okay? But at the end, having a spiritual eye, a spiritual understanding, you know that this is the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai concerning us. So in all things, praise Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai in good and bad. Just as Job said, shall we receive good and not evil from the Lord? All right. So that being said, there's a lesson to be learned. The edification, so like edification through the fire. Okay, there's a lot that can be learned from the evils that you catch. Okay, and don't take it lightly, man. Okay, the Lord is seeking to increase you in the faith, increase you in the spirit. Okay, so Lord willing, I hope this lesson was edifying. I'd like to give all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Achakwadash. Double honors to my teachers, the elder apostles, the elder bishops of Great Millstone, teaching and ruling well. Peace, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect, all right, of the house of Israel. Until next time, shalom, shalom, shalom.